Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we are talking about service, pickup, and delivery. And Ted, quite the story here on Paragon Honda's success with this.
Paragon Honda is a leader in service pickup and delivery. We have many of the leaders here with us today to help tell the story. Murat, take us back a few years and tell us how we got here.
Well, I remember it started back, I believe, in 2017, just a roundtable discussion in regards to there was a dealership that was in Manhattan that was closed down. And Brian raised his hand and said, hey, don't put another point there. We'll make it our obligation to go ahead and service all those customers that are in or units in operation that are in that vicinity. And you guys won't need to add another point, another sales team, whatever the case may be. And it started off with getting maybe 4 or 5 off-site facilities where customers can bring their cars there and drop them off. And then as he thought that process through, he just figured it's gonna be a mundane process that's gonna still require the customer to be inconvenienced, especially in Manhattan. And then as the conversations took place, obviously with the service director and a couple of other players in the team, pickup and delivery came up. Why don't we pick up the cars, bring them here, drop them back off? And we weren't even thinking of the benefits of doing that besides just the convenience it's going to provide and then the extra customers we're going to bring on board. And it was probably a 3-4 hour discussion that started with what are we going to charge? What's our radius? How often are we going to do it? Are we going to have blocked out hours for pickup and delivery? And at one point, Brian said, we're going to do it for free. There is going to be no radius. We'll go as far as we possibly can. We're not the physical ones driving to pick up the cars and drop them back off. We're going to have a system that's going to do it for us. And Amazon doesn't charge for delivery, so why would we charge for pickup and delivery? And it started off there, and in 2017, we had our first pickup and drop off for service. And now, we're 8 years later, we've picked up and dropped off over 250,000 vehicles in the last 8 years. And little by little, it was a learning experience for us. As we started picking up vehicles, we noticed that the average repair order was gradually going up. I mean, Anthony, what was the difference? Probably about 100% difference in RO, right?
Back in 2017, our average was like 160, shot up to like 240 or 250. And it hovered back and forth depending on Acura and Honda. But, customers not going to make you come pick up their car, call them with an estimate and say no to it. As long as your prices are competitive, they're never going to say no. They don't want to get back into that car to get the service done or get the brakes done or whatever the case is. So, you put a good service advisor there, they're closing it 100% of the time.
One of the things we learned was that one of the objections is I don't have enough time to get that service done.
Yeah.
It's eliminated that completely. And that was a great surprise to find out that we're no longer running into that objection because
That's
customers
definitely have service his time.
yeah, and now it's
Step
totally
on
gone.
it, it's always time.
It spread like wildfires, right? We identified that time was the new currency at that point. When we noticed that our repair orders were going up $200-$300 per visit, we understood, wait, we can transition this not just to sales, not to service, but to sales. Why do we have to have customers come on in and work these transactions the rudimentary way where it was 4 or 5 hours? We just started reaching out to customers and offering them at-home test drives, which opened up online sales. And we kind of were doing this from both ends. And on the service side now, I think it's an expectation from our customers. I mean, I know there's dealerships that don't even consider of doing it. Our customers, there's just some that wouldn't consider coming into the dealership. Pick my car up, do what you need to do, send me what the bill's going to cost, and we'll move on. And it's improved CSI because we don't have people sitting around waiting 3-4 hours for an oil change. It's improved, obviously, the repair orders and the ROIs on those. So, I mean, it's for us, it would be ridiculous to never have that ability to offer that. And that's opened up the gateway for us to try to do as many remote transactions as we possibly could, whether it's sales, whether it's service, now it's parts. So it's just covered it like locusts. And we anticipate to do 500,000 pickup and deliveries probably within the next 2 years since 2017. And it's pretty exciting.
It's really exciting. And Joel and Clint, I want to get your perspective, from the broader dealership space. How has pickup and delivery changed customer expectations around service convenience?
Joel, I'll toss to you first.
Sure. I think you said it best. Amazon doesn't charge for pickup and delivery. We're in an environment to where the automotive retail industry is the last industry to offer direct-to-consumer services. And so without adding that service, it's going to make it very difficult to compete. And I also think it impacts service intervals. How easy is it to get a customer back to your dealership if you take away the friction of actually bringing their car in and you go out and pick it up for them?
Clint Curtis at Zapmoto. You work with hundreds of dealerships around the country on service pickup and delivery. Talk to us about some of the things that separate dealerships that make it profitable from others that struggle with it as well.
Yeah. First off, I feel like I'm sitting on sacred ground in Paragon, man. Like, because we paid attention, and you guys were an inspiration for us even starting our business. Seriously. But no, it's really cool to see and to think about exactly what's been echoed here. Customers, convenience is kindness is the number one thing, right? And they will repay the dealership for that, every single time in customer spend and CSI, right? But Paragon can't do it by themselves. Dealerships across the country need to start thinking about this the same way, because the Carvanas of the world, the CarMaxes of the world, I hate even saying those names here, they're pushing this direct to consumer idea, and the idea of being able to transact and do business anywhere, including fixed operations. So we see it, the dealerships that we work with understand that opportunity as well and have to lean in. The showrooms are beautiful, the buildings are beautiful, but what's more beautiful for your customers is to stay at home watching Netflix and not being in here pissed off because they're still waiting for their car. Anyway, that's what we see.
That's what they see too. That's what they see too.
Murat and Ryan and Anthony, how important is the communication throughout the process, from scheduling to vehicle return, in creating a great customer experience?
That's key. When a customer makes an appointment, the day before they're getting a text saying tomorrow your scheduled pickup, the driver will be there at 8 o'clock. Once the driver gets there, takes their photos, the customer sees exactly where their car is at every point. And sometimes you'll see a customer call about, why'd you go Greensboro when you should keep moving to Trimoro because Greensboro had no traffic. But anyway, but I shouldn't have paid the toll. It's vice versa. And,
That's what you get for servicing cab drivers.
Then we pay the toll. But it's once the car gets here, it's all communication, right? The better you communicate with the customer, just the easier it is, the more they trust you. It's all about trust.
It wasn't perfect when it started. I
Oh, no.
promise you that. I mean, there was a lot of dropped balls. There were a lot of wrong addresses. There was a lot of miscommunication. But just like any startup or any new endeavor that you're focused on, you're gonna bump along the way. And we just did it with no guardrails. We just went full throttle, and we didn't sit there and nickel and dime what it's costing us or where the chargebacks and all of this. We just operated and went full throttle, knowing it will pay off.
Remember? Don't pencil it. Don't worry about it.
Don't
Try to figure it out.
Don't pencil it. And I think that's why a lot of great ideas never take off the ground.
Exactly.
Is because people get too in the weeds with the dollars and cents. Whether it's pickup and delivery, whether it's mobile service, it's going to cost us this, it's going to cost us that, it's going to cost us this. Let's focus about all the things it's going to do for our business, and then we'll hash it all out when it's all said and done. And I can promise you one thing, no one's complaining about free pickup and delivery. Not anybody in our office, and none of our clients either.
I think you bring up a really interesting point, though, too. I feel like when you do offer a new experience like this to customers, that they have empathy too. They know that you're going above and beyond with something like pickup and delivery. And so, yeah, man, like if you're a little bit late, if things aren't perfect, they're okay, because they know that you're trying something different.
And they're not paying for it.
And they're not paying for it. That helps too, right?
And it's a tire light. Pick up a car, cost you $90 both ways, and it's a tire light. Adjust that tire pressure, bring it back with a smile.
That's up,
The
right?
battery was dead in the remote.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I will add to that, though, as customers have become more and more used to the pickup and delivery service, Sarah, to your question, it becomes more and more paramount to have that communication, because now it becomes an expectation. And as Murat was saying, it's not cheap, right? It's not cheap, but it's worth it so long as you nail that communication element, because the worst thing that we can do is spend the money to do pickup and delivery and then tick off our customers. So that's where communication comes in. You set the expectation and you deliver on it.
You have to over communicate too, because customers are used to Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft, and they have there's an app on the phone that's giving that real-time communication every time. Unfortunately, I don't know if Paragon has an app that people subscribe to. I hope they do. But, to be able to get those real-time alerts and stuff, we don't have that advantage. So you have to over-communicate with that text.
100%.
And Clint, the dealerships of the future really need to plan for this. The fact that a lot of this is going to take place now, going to get the customer's vehicle, bringing it as Paragon is doing here. And that should be a big part of what dealers are looking at.
Absolutely. And the way that we've designed what we do for dealerships is it has to be as easy as a restaurant signing up for DoorDash. It has to be easy because I'm sorry, man. These dealerships, especially the guys that are working the fixed operations and the service departments, it's trauma, man. It's a hospital, right? It's the emergency room. You got bleeding cars coming in, with appendages missing and stuff. It's wild, and we don't know where the parts are. And to ask them on top, hey, we want you to run a localized DoorDash. That's a lot. You got to be a true psychopath like Paragon to really figure it out on your own. We like to come in and help me and ease that pain.
It's exciting, Ted. There's lots to think about when it comes to all of the advantages of service pickup and delivery. And it sounds like a lot ahead for dealers in our audience.
I want to congratulate Murat, Anthony, Petitio, Ryan for all the great work that you're doing and really setting the bar.
These guys
and showing that
Absolutely, man.
They're superstars. They don't stop 24/7 like our service drive.
Everybody, I'm here, Ted Ings with Sarah Vantine. We're at Paragon Honda, the leaders in service pickup and delivery. We'll be right back.